Okay, so guys, let's begin. So today we are going to start with what is polymorphism. Okay, so that is the next OOPS concept. So press Ctrl F, search for polymorphism in your notes. Polymorphism. Let's again click on this arrow button. So this section of our notes is what we are going to explore today. So what is polymorphism, by the way? What do you mean by that? See, polymorphism is like one entity can take multiple forms. Poly means many, morphism means form. Example, a human being, when he is angry, he is in a different form. He is upset, different form. Depressed, different form. Right? Happy, different form. Calm, he is in a different form. So it is one human being has multiple forms. Right? So one entity when has multiple forms, we call that as polymorphism. Same way, if you now notice, one more example is, lot of people they celebrate Navratri, correct? So Navratri, which is celebrated for 9 nights, the significance, I was just searching on Wikipedia what is the significance of it. Significance is, every day goddess Durga, she takes a particular avatar to fight against the demon. So this fight goes on for 9 nights, and every day, every night, there's a different avatar of Goddess Durga fights against the demon, and finally a victory of good happens over evil. Victory of good happens over evil. So it is one God taking multiple forms. That's again polymorphism. See, understand the meaning of word polymorphism. Polymorphism means many forms. When a particular feature can take multiple forms, that's called as polymorphism. Example, I'm developing a feature in Java such that that feature can take multiple forms, right? I'm developing a feature such that it can take more than one form in Java, then that implementation is called as polymorphism, right? What I have to do here now? I have to develop a feature in Java, just like that human being, just like Goddess Durga, how they are taking multiple forms. It is depending on the situation, multiple forms are taken. Multiple forms are not taken just abruptly. For example, human being, you're watching some comedy movie, right? The form that you take will be different. It is a situation based on which you take a form. Same way, you have to develop a feature in Java such that based on a situation it takes a particular form. One feature can take multiple forms depending on situation. If you're able to develop such kind of implementation, that's polymorphism. But the question is, how do I develop that now? How do I implement this now? So we will now implement that, but before that, let's read here. Polymorphism in Java, it means here we develop a feature such that it can take more than one form depending on situation. Very important note, polymorphism is applicable only on methods. We cannot apply that on variables. Polymorphism is applicable only on methods, not on variables. You cannot apply this concept on variables. Okay, let's see this here. One simple example which will give us more clarity. There are two ways to achieve polymorphism. Okay, one is overriding and the other one is overloading. I'm starting with overriding. Now I will use this concept overriding and I'll teach you how to develop a feature which can take multiple forms. Okay, we are starting off with what? Overriding. So let's understand the problem statement. Let's assume I'm developing one banking application. What am I developing? Banking application. Now this bank has two types of accounts. One is called as gold account, okay, and the other one it has got called as platinum account. There are two types of accounts this bank offers for its customers. One is called as gold account, other one is called as. Now if you take gold account, let's say you decided to open up gold account, savings account of the type gold account, you decided to do that. So firstly, what feature are they providing? Online banking they are providing. That's pretty common. Any bank account you open up, online banking is must and should. The next thing they're telling is, if you open up gold account, okay, savings account of the type gold account, if you open up, the balance that you keep in your account, let's say you kept 10,000, 15,000, 20,000, whatever balance you have kept it in your account, the rate of interest will be nil. Rate of interest is nil, which means I'll not give you any interest on that. Today there are many banks, when you keep amount in savings account, they give you interest on that. Correct? Now they are telling I'll not give you any interest. But suppose you sign up for platinum account. Let's say you decided to sign up for platinum account. I'll give you online banking. I'll give you online banking. But along with this online banking now, you will also get 6% rate of interest per annum, per year on the balance that you have kept. Now look at these two classes. Tell me which are the features common between them. Very good. You said, sir, online banking. I see that that is common between these two. When there is a common feature being used between two classes, which concept will you apply? Inheritance. I'll apply inheritance, correct? Because already that feature is present in my parent class. If the feature is already present in my parent class, I'll inherit and use it. Yes or no? See, I will just do inheritance. I'll inherit the members from gold account to platinum account. Let's do inheritance. Let's use it. But now I have a challenge here. If I do inheritance, it is not inheriting only online banking. This rate of interest logic will also get inherited. You agree with that? Yes. Here just inheritance is not sufficient. Of course, I have to do inheritance. Why? Because in gold account, I've already developed the feature for online banking. Now in platinum account, let's not develop that again. Just inherit this online banking feature. Just inherit that online banking feature to platinum account. And after inheriting that particular feature, reuse it. But what about the second feature? That is also getting inherited. And I don't want to reuse that. The second feature, rate of interest in gold account is nil, but platinum account they're providing 6%. Now, how do I take care of this? How do I basically take care of this particular thing? So here, inheritance alone is not sufficient. Now, I want a concept here where this method that I'm inheriting in platinum account, I should be able to modify the logic of inherited method. Modify the logic of inherited method. This logic, okay, of the method that got inherited, I have to modify that here in platinum account. Which means I'm inheriting, and the inherited method logic I'm modifying it. What am I doing it? This method I'm inheriting as it is. But this method that I'm inheriting it, after inheriting, I have to modify the logic of that inherited method. I have to modify the logic of what? Inherited method. How do I do this now? That is the question that we have here now. Correct? So this is where polymorphism comes in picture. Let's see practically, that will give you more idea. Let me close this. Let us go here. Open class A. We will rename this particular class to gold account. Press Ctrl 1 and rename. And here we will build one method, public void public void online banking. Online what? Banking. And here I'll just type a dummy message. Yes. Same way, I require one more feature here, which is going to be what? Rate of interest, rate of interest, rate of interest. And here, what is the rate of interest they are providing? Nil. Correct. Okay, now I'll go to B, which is my platinum account class. Observe here now. So just change this to platinum account. Press Ctrl 1, rename the file. And now, since this is the common feature between two classes, let's do one thing. Let me type extends gold account. Fine, extends gold account. Fine. Now see, when I do this, is only this method getting inherited or both are getting inherited? But what is the challenge I have here now? Online banking I will use as it is. But rate of interest can I use as it is? If I do that, my logical implementation is wrong. Yes or no? If I now here create an object of platinum account, create an object of platinum account, P is equal to new platinum account. You see that P dot online banking, P dot online banking, save this, P dot online banking, right? What's happening? P dot online banking. What is the mistake? Main method itself missing. Yes or no? How can we do that? Yes or no? Right? Everybody clear with this now? And P dot rate of interest. What is the problem here? For platinum account object, rate of interest is not nil. But as of now, when I run, what is it printing? So this is wrong. Platinum account object online banking plus rate of interest should be 6%. But if I now create here, let me just put one small bifurcation. But if I now print here gold account, G is equal to new gold account. Now, when I do G dot online banking, it's accessing this, and G dot rate of interest, it is again. So for gold account, it is correct. Yes or no? Observe, for gold account, this is correct. It's printing yes, rate of interest nil. But platinum account should be yes, and rate of interest should be. So this is where your polymorphism comes in picture. When there is a requirement to modify the logic of inherited method. What is overriding? Overriding is a concept where the inherited method's logic you can modify. How to do that? So once again in your child class, now this is a parent class, once again your child class, create a same method and change that to 6% per annum. Now put a breakpoint here, run in debug mode, let's see how the application works. Now see, after I put a breakpoint, application stops at this line. Yeah, application stops at this line. Now what I will do? Come on, tell me. I will step over online banking. So to step into which online banking it is calling, right? Then after that, you will just step out, that is return, step out, yes or no? Then rate of interest. See, there are two rate of interest now. One is here, one is here. But after overriding, which rate of interest is it calling? Are you understanding now? And now see, okay, return back, done. Now see, we are in gold account. Gold account, which online banking is it calling? See, step over. What is it printing? Yes. And now, okay, you just come back, again step into. Sir, what do you mean by polymorphism here? Is if you notice, rate of interest method is taking multiple forms. Yes or no? The rate of interest method is taking more than one form. We have developed a method such that it can take more than one form. Now, because the rate of interest can take more than one form, it comes under the category of what? Polymorphism. Poly, many. forms. Rate of interest is taking many forms depending on situation. If I create a platinum object, it's calling this. Gold account object, it is calling this. Is this clear? Everyone? So what is overriding? Overriding is a concept where we modify the logic of inherited method in. See here, the inherited method logic, the inherited method logic, online students, the inherited method logic is being modified here. This rate of interest logic is being modified here. Whenever you modify the logic of inherited method in the child class by once again creating a same method in child class, it's called as overriding concept type 1 polymorphism, which is runtime polymorphism. This whole thing will happen during runtime of your project. So this is also called as runtime polymorphism. Is this clear, everyone? Everyone, did you understand first example? Yes. Online students, did you all understand this? Please tell me. Read this. Read this line again. Read this again. What is the first one? What is runtime polymorphism? Is this clear? So we are modifying the logic of inherited method. Which method? This method. We modify. And you saw, because of polymorphism, some issues of inheritance can be addressed here now. Otherwise, inheritance will tell whichever method of inherited, use it as it is. But now polymorphism is telling you can modify that method logic which is inherited. Right? As per your requirement, you can modify that method logic that has been inherited. And how to do that? We have to use overriding concept there. Okay? Right. So now let us continue further. Now many a times what happens is when we are doing overriding, okay, when we are doing overriding, some mistakes might happen. Like example, here the method names are different. The method names are what? Different. And when the method names are different, I don't see any error. Do you see any error here? So how do I know whether polymorphism is happening or not happening? Because I don't see any error. By default, in your programs, whether overriding is happening or not, you cannot identify that now. And if you want to identify whether overriding is happening or not, meaning you have modified the logic of inherited method or not, you want to identify overriding has happened or not, you want to identify. In order to do that, we have a concept in Java called as annotations. What is a concept called as? Annotations are set of rules and regulations that we build inside it. Okay, when I say annotation, there are set of rules that we can put inside that annotation, and wherever we want that rules to become applicable, we can use that annotation there. Like one of the annotation that is being provided is at the rate override. Annotation starts with at the rate, capital letter, at the rate override. By using this annotation at the rate override, it has a rule written down in it. There is a logic written down in it. You can see that. If I now just open this up, there is a logic written in it now. Okay, so there is a logic written inside this annotation. What is that logic? This logic instructs your compiler to check overriding is happening or not. Okay, annotations are instructing the compiler to do a specific task. This instruction can happen during compile time or during runtime. Okay, I can instruct during compilation or runtime to apply a specific rule to be executed at the rate over type. If you notice here, okay, what it is telling now is retention policy is source, which means during the compilation phase itself, it is going to now tell me whether it is right or wrong. Since the method names are wrong, this annotation catches that particular error. Just change the method name. Change the method. When overriding is happening, there are no errors that is being seen. But if overriding is not happening, this annotation has a certain rule written down which catches those errors and tell the developers that look, the inherited method, okay, is not being modified. There is no overriding happening and hence take this error. Did you understand now? Everybody, online students, are you able to follow me? Please tell me. Online students, did you understand this part? If yes, we can proceed further. Right? Did you all understand this part? Look at that now. Okay, so in Java version 5, a concept of annotations was introduced. Annotations are set of instructions to compiler to perform a specific task. Now this instruction can be, I can apply this instruction not just at compile time, even at runtime. Okay, there are set of instructions I'm applying. At the rate override instructs the compiler to check whether overriding is happening or not. Okay, so compile time, here the compiler converts this, already we have talked about it. Yes or no? Everybody, can you tell me why there is an error in this program? Why there is an error in this program? Can you tell me why there is an error? Huh? The error here is because the method names are what? Different. The error you see here because the method names are what? Different. Because the method names are different, you end up seeing your what? An error. Is this clear everyone now? Yes? Okay. So now let us learn, okay, access specifiers plus overriding in depth manner. Now I have a question here. I am doing overriding. Is that only the method name should match during overriding? Or even public and void, that should also match? Is it only the method name is what should match during overriding, or even public void also should match during overriding? Huh? Tell me. We are doing overriding. At the rate override is catching an error. The error is being caught when the method names mismatch is happening. Correct? But my question is now, this error that at the rate override catches, is it only when the method names are not matched, or even public and void should match? Huh? Tell me. Huh? Both should match. See, now access specifier during overriding can be different, but not the return type. What is the return type here? This has to match. Name has to match. Return type has to match. But this one, there is a specific rule here now. It is not that during overriding, access specifier has to match. It is not that during overriding, access specifier has to match. It can be different. But there are certain rules now. Whenever you are using access specifier, during overriding, the inherited method access specifier scope is increased. Which is the inherited method? What is its scope? Now what is its scope? Now inherited method is default and that scope is increased to public. Then there is no problem. You can do overriding. You don't see any error. During inheritance, inherited method access specifier scope is increased because default works in package, public works everywhere. Then there is no problem. But let's do vice versa. This is default and let's make this as, now you are reducing the scope of inherited method. Access specifier public, I'm replacing with what? What do you see here now? Did you understand now? What are we seeing here? Whenever inherited method scope you are decreasing it, then there is an error. So tell me one thing now. I will replace this with default and I will make this as protected. Will it work? I'm inheriting default and replacing with protected. Am I increasing the scope or reducing? Increasing. See, is there any error? I will make this public. Will it work? I'm increasing or decreasing? The public access specifier is decreased to protected. What happens? Error. Let me make it default. Will it work or error? Will work. Why will it work? Because you're increasing the scope. I will make this default and I will make this as private. Will it work? Firstly, private cannot be inherited at all. So overriding cannot happen on private methods. Can we do overriding on private? Overriding on private methods are not allowed. Did you understand now? Overriding on private methods are not allowed. Keep that in mind. You cannot override private methods. Inheritance only cannot happen. Then why are you applying overriding? Overriding to happen, inheritance is mandatory. Overriding is a concept of modifying logic of inherited method. Is this clear? Everyone got this part? Yes. Online students, did you all understand this part? Please tell me. Okay? Please tell me. Did you understand this part of access specifier with overriding? Yes. Okay. I will make this as public. Will it work? No. I will make this also public. Will it work? I will make this as default. Will it work? Yes. When you're increasing the scope, it has to work. So read this here. We'll now see the notes slowly. Access specifier, should it be same or can be different during overriding? What do you mean by that? Read this loudly. Okay. Now see example 1. We are inheriting default method, replacing with public. Will it work? Yes. Very good. It will work. Yes. Next. I'm inheriting public, replacing with default. Will it work? No. Error, because public scope is reduced to default. I'm inheriting default, replacing with protected. Will it work? Because protected has more visibility than default. I'm inheriting private. First of all, inheritance of private members are not allowed. Did you understand now? Everyone, are you clear with this part? Hmm? Are you clear with this part? Please tell me. Yes, no. Yes. Okay. Now, there is one more common thing which basically the beginners learning Java will make mistake. That is, static members. Can we override a method inside the same class? No. How can you? What is the basic rule I said? What is overriding? Go back to the definition. What is overriding? What is overriding? Tell me the definition. Modify the logic of inherited method. So can inheritance happen in same class? Inheritance happens only when there are parent and child class. So in the same class, how will you do overriding? Overriding is a concept applicable with inheritance. If inheritance is not there, overriding cannot happen. The whole purpose of overriding is modify logic of inherited method. Okay. Now there is another confusion among beginners. They'll ask this in interview. Can we inherit static members? And most of the beginners will end up telling yes. Now why is that? Let's see this here. I will now make this particular member as static. I'll make this member as what? Static. Let's write here public, void and static. Let's delete this. Let's now write here public static int x. How many members are there? Two members are there. Now what happens is when I try to write here, when I try to now write here syso b dot x b, okay, this is platinum, sorry. So child class here is what? Platinum. Platinum dot x, platinum dot x. You see that there is no error. When I write here platinum dot rate of interest, there's no error. Now you're seeing that parent class members are accessed with a child class name, and immediately our answer will be static members are inherited. But your answers are wrong. You cannot inherit static members. You cannot inherit static members. Then why is this working? Actually, what is happening is when you wrote this platinum.x, automatically our code is getting corrected and it converts platinum.x to gold.x, and hence program outputs you are seeing. It is not because of inheritance. Because I am now writing platinum account.x, it knows static members cannot be inherited. Auto correction is happening during compilation of your code. Platinum account is replaced with gold account, and we are getting here what? The output. This is not inheritance. This is the mistake that you did during compilation. This platinum account.x and gold account.rate of interest is replacing this platinum, and hence it is working. So static members are never inherited. Instead, the wrong code that you wrote, it is correcting it and replacing the child class name with a parent class name. Did you understand now? Did you understand this topic? Yeah. Now we can prove this further. We can prove this further. Okay. See now. Okay. This will work. Why? Because this will get replaced with, and this will get replaced with. Okay. See, what is it telling? Platinum dot rate of interest is converted to, and platinum dot x is converted to. Hence we are getting the output. Sir, can you prove this point they're not inherited? Okay. Let's prove this point. Can you tell me what is the basic rule for overriding? Inheritance. Without inheritance, can I do overriding? No. Now, whether overriding is happening or not, how do you check? What do you see here? If static method was inherited, I could have done overriding. But am I able to override? No. Why am I not able to override? Because static members are not inherited. When something is not inherited, we cannot override. For overriding, what is mandatory? What is mandatory? Online students. What is mandatory? Inheritance is mandatory. Are static members inherited? No. So can we override a static method? Interview question. Can we override a variable? No. Overriding is applicable only on methods. So look at that. Can we override static methods? What is your answer? We cannot override static methods, as we cannot inherit static methods. We cannot override static methods as we cannot. Did you understand this point? Can you tell me why there is an error in this program? Static methods are not inherited, hence overriding will not happen. What is the basic rule for overriding? Inherit. Because why are we doing overriding? To modify logic of inherit. Is static method inherited? Not inherited. Is this point clear? All of you? Yes. Return type has to match, guys. That you have to take care of. Now let's remove static. Is the return type matching? What is the return type here? Let me change that to int. Since it is int, let us add here return some value. You see, where is the error now? Now return type has to match. Don't do any mistake there. If you do not, this part of your method signature has to match. Exactly the same way it has to be. Access specifiers can be changed. Static members cannot be inherited. Are you understanding? Everyone got this part? Any questions, queries? Do you have it here? No questions, no queries. Okay. So, do you want to practice this much? Huh? Online students, do you want to practice this much? Yes, no. Do you want to practice this much? Yes. So, we're going to stop here, right? We're going to stop here, and we'll see you again in the next class, that is tomorrow. Okay, practice this. Tomorrow we will look at more things related to polymorphism. See, when I say object oriented programming, inheritance, polymorphism, abstraction, encapsulation. See, these concepts are applicable on non-static members. Keep this in mind. This OOPS concept is applicable on, keep that in mind. Don't get static members into picture here. Is this clear? All OOPS concept is applicable on non-static. Is this clear? Yes, that's what's called as object-oriented programming, which means what belongs to object. What belongs to object, OOPS concept is applicable on that. That's what's object-oriented programming. OOPS, which has 4 pillars. What are the 4 pillars? Very good. That's it, guys. I'm going to stop my